Hey guys, it's your girl Robin Shockley. Focus forward, Robin on the go. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm here today with the Voice of Vision and Truth podcast with Mr. Terrell Skelton today. And we're talking about relationships today. We're talking about personal relationships, talking about business relationships, talking about connections. And Terrell, I got a few questions to pick your brains with because you are known as the street minister who has a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So let's talk about it a minute. Let's talk about these relationships that singles get into, because I'm single, you're single. Tell me some of the things that we look for in a relationship when we're dating, and what are some of the things that we need to avoid when we're dating?
Great question, Robin. Let me start off by saying this. First and foremost, in order to get involved in a relationship, first you have to get involved with yourself. Love who you are first. First and foremost, love who you are. And once you find out who you are, you love, then you know how to identify your mate. That's going to come very helpful for you. And a lot of cases is you want to find your first love. Me personally, I fell in love with Christ. Okay? And I learned by falling in love with Christ, learns me, and it teaches me how to fall in love with someone else. Mm-hmm. Because he's given me principles. He's given me a good understanding to where I know how to control the outcome as far as my outcome, as far as what decisions I'm going to make moving forward. Okay? And a lot of times in relationships, we would try to figure our mate out and try to find reasons to think that without communication, it's not a big thing. It's communication. If we're not communicating with our mate, we don't communicate with Christ, then where's our connection? We have to communicate. And that way, when you have another stronger behalf, it helps you when you're weak. So mine is Christ right now. He helps me when I'm weak. So whenever I have moments, he sustains me.
I love this, Terrell. I love this because it's very important that you got to be involved with yourself first, but have that connection with Christ. I know with me being a single woman, Christ is always my first priority, right? And then too, when I'm out here, you know, if I'm dating or not dating or whatever, I'm still center focused on my relationship with Christ. One of the other questions I want to pick your brain about is, what do you do whenever you have, say there's a man and a woman and they like each other and they've gone out a couple of times and such, when does it become where the man, I don't want to say where it's like he's too prideful, because we get this a lot, and then there's women, they get prideful too, where they're like, well, I'm done. I've already taken her to dinner. I've already took her to the movies. I've already made my investment. When am I going to get invested back? When is she going to start doing for me? Tell me what your thoughts are about that, because I really would like to know, because I come in contact with a lot of men and a lot of women, and they tell me different viewpoints, and I really want to know your viewpoint on this, as far as like when you've been out with somebody and you liking them and such, but then you feel like, well, golly, I've already made all the investment I need to make. When I'm getting investment, tell me what your point is.
Well, first of all, Robin, if they having that mindset, they're thinking wrong.
Okay.
That's not what it's about. If you're looking at something, it has to be a chemistry. You know, you have to be somewhat connected where you feel good. You don't have to be no one but yourself. Don't try to pretend to be anyone else. When you be more authentic by being yourself, then that person will gravitate being who they are. They be themselves, because the more open you are, the more open they will be. The more closed in you are, the more closed in they'll be. Less communication from you, less communication from them. Less truthful from you, less truthful from them. You follow along with this?
That's good.
So it's going to piggyback off each other. So once you just be who you are and have that I don't care attitude, and just be who you want to be you. And you'll find that that partner's for you. And there's no limitation. By the way, there's no time limit on when someone should to push the envelope. You will already sense it. And whenever you feel it, I always go off my gut feeling. Whenever I feel it, I speak it. And that is the best time. That's the best time to relate to your spouse that you're communicating with. And from there, you'll be in alignment. And if it's not, then you guys can find your separate ways, because there's no emotionally really attached at that point.
Okay, let me ask you another question.
Yes.
How do you feel when it comes to people saying, you know, women, and I'm not knocking the men, because this is women do it too. So this is like a general question. All these questions I'm asking, it's going both ways. But when somebody is, you know, want to hang out with somebody and they want to like kick it, you know, just like chill, you know, do Netflix and chill, not actually be intimate or anything like that, but just wants to chill and not want to make an investment to go out to dinner or go to the park or go get ice cream or whatever. So when do you make that decision as a man or as a woman to consciously and say, you know what, I'm not going to keep kicking it anymore. I don't want to take the time. I want more. When do you get the courage to speak up and say, you know what, I'm tired of this? Because a lot of women, I'm speaking from the woman's point of view, a lot of women, they think, oh, the guy does like me. He's wanting to spend time with me. That's great, but he's not wanting to do anything with you. He just wants to sit at home and Netflix and chill. Basically, that's all he's wanting to do. So how do you feel from a man's perspective, you know, to take the action, you know, to take that next move, or do you think it's okay to Netflix and chill, or how do you think from a woman's perspective she should respond truthfully? Now, you've had experiences, because we know that, you know, you're Romeo, so we know that you've had experiences, so I really want to know your perspective on this.
Once again, thank you, Rob. I love the questions. That's simple. That's simple. You put in, I call it my application. It's like when you go apply for a job and you're going to get hired. You want to get hired on that job. You're going to tell that the employee what you want them to know about you. Same way when you meet someone, you're going to give them an application of who you want them to think that you are. If you're not that person, it will be revealed in the long run. So I believe that a lot of time, a lot of cases, you give your application to the person, tell them this is what I'm expecting. Not what you, not so much what you expected. It's things that you look forward to. If there cannot be no kind of reconciliation to move towards that goal, what you're looking for, then there's not a lot of time invested should be in there. There has to be some sort of where I say, let's not make a sacrifice. I don't want you don't have to sacrifice your well-being for someone else because you will lose. But you can compromise because they have to compromise too. When two people compromise, it brings a better relationship. But if one person make a sacrifice and the other one doesn't, then next thing you know, then you're doing everything that person wants you to do. And guess what? They are controlling right now.
Ooh.
You're losing. You lost control when you started to sacrifice.
Okay.
But when you compromise, you give them a little bit of your time and they give a little of theirs.
Yeah.
And then you can see what works. But you have to catch that in the beginning. There's no time frame when you catch it. You got to go off your intuition, or what we call it in the spiritual world, your discernment.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, your discernment is internal. You want to make sure that you protect what's inside of you versus just something that's fake.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, one more last question. All right, because the holidays are coming up, then you got Christmas, then you got Valentine's and all that stuff. When it comes to dating someone, say you're not in a relationship with nobody, but you're interested in somebody and you think, oh, I think I'd like to get to know this person. I see them on social media, or I've seen them at church or whatever, and I think I'd like to maybe go to dinner with them, or I might want to. Whose role do you feel it is to take somebody out? Should it be the man or should it be the woman? And then I will tell you my answer after he says.
Today we live in the modern times we're living in today. Whoever feels it. If it's the female, approach. If it's the male, approach. It's simple as that. We have been targeted for so many years. It's been so traditional that the male has to go approach the female first. Well, I know that's the modern way, but now in this time of day where we have to realize that a woman got to step up because it's competition out there. If they want a man, they better go get him. Now, I'm just saying, if they want to, go get it. Put your application in, okay? If it's a yay, if it's a no, but put your application in. And if not, then guess what? You don't have to worry about thinking about it no more.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about contemplating on it more because he done gave you his answer. If he goes out with you, Then y'all guys see where it go from there. But other than that, then it's first come, first serve.
I love it because it's so important. I totally agree on that. That's one of the answers that we line up in, is because I've taken men out on dates, men taking me out on dates and such. So I don't look at them. When it comes to courting, I like to be courted. I like to be, that time spent and stuff, but I'm going to give you back even more so, when you pursue me, right? So I do believe in the man pursuing the woman, but I do believe the woman making it known. If you're interested in somebody, let that guy know, ladies. Stop being so prideful and being so shy. If you're interested in somebody, go after him, because you never know. He may say yes. But one last question, and I said that was mine, but how do you handle rejection when somebody that you're interested in, and then they just say, you know what, I think you're cool, you're great, I think we can be great friends, we can be great business associates, but you're just not my feel, you're not going in the same direction, or you're just not my type. How do you handle rejection, Terrell?
Well, Robin,
Mr. Romeo.
That's the old part. But I go back off of this right here, is that I've been in sales for over 20 years.
Okay.
And one thing I learned about in sales, we're going to hear tons of many no's until we get that yes.
Yeah.
So your no to me means that's a yes for someone else for another opportunity. So I have to be okay with no. But the thing is, do I stop at one no? Do I stop at two no's? Do I stop at three no's? No. Every time you get the urge or the energy to continuously to move forward, don't stop, because your yes is right around the corner. But if you stop, you'll never get there. So it's okay.
That's right. It's okay to be rejected. It's okay for the no's, because one no is another yes for somebody else. So don't give up on the love. Today's all about relationships and talking about dating and understanding the other person and what it is that you want with your life. This is your girl, Robin Shockley, with Focus Forward Robin on the go with the Voice of Vision and Truth podcast. You never know where I'm going to be. I got the Terrell Skelton here in the building with me, sharing his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding with his application messages. Y'all stay tuned. There is more to come from this guy. Remember what I always say, if you think a thing, you believe a thing. If you believe it, you will achieve it. Y'all be blessed. Do you have a story to bring positive impact of change to the next generation or even this generation? Contact your girl Robin Shockley on all social media platforms to tell your story on the Voice of Vision and Truth podcast.